She was a competitive
There
rock
is
climber.
a but.
There is.
Sorry.
In my face. It's all right.
This is the show where we answer your questions, but if it gets too deep, we say don't go there.
Hello! Welcome to another Don't Go There. I'm here with Tess Carr. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm a little bit sick.
Just a smidge sick. She's
a tiny bit.
You know, with her.
I played with sick cousins, and this is what happens.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's fun.
But they're too cute
They are.
not to play with.
Right.
So I played with them anyway.
Yes.
Now I'm paying the price for it.
Emergency.
So that I can stay nice and healthy. This will help. Put it down there.
Yeah, just hide it.
Doesn't go up in coffee.
Is that coffee?
No, it's tea.
Oh.
What
What
kind
kind
of
of
tea?
It's jade citrus mint.
Ooh, jade citrus mint.
It's my favorite.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
so delicious.
So good.
And they
Yes.
have that at the Starbucks?
Yeah. It's a Starbucks tea. I know.
Wow.
It's really good.
Okay, so to the questions. Hello. Okay, so theme park performer.
Yes.
Multiple things.
Yes.
When did you realize you wanted to be a performer?
I don't know that there was a specific moment. My mom always references a specific moment, sent me into my room to get dressed. She could not find me an hour later and then found me in my room in front of like my full-length mirrors, not dressed at all, with like a feather boa around my neck, doing a show for myself. So she always references that as like the moment she knew I was going to be a performer. So I guess I hold on to that as the moment that I knew I would be a performer too. But I don't know that I had like a specific moment, like an aha.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a performer.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, this is natural.
I did shows all the time for my family. I made costumes. I think I still have one of them. They're terrible. They're awful, but we did like dinner theater. I made a menu. I directed it, choreographed it, everything.
How old were you?
12? 10 or 12?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's
What was the name of your
hilarious.
dinner theater?
I don't remember. It was a combination of names because I did it with my friend Marissa Volk. And so I think it was like a combination of both of our names. It was like the Volk Carr Dinner Theater.
That's very classy,
Yes,
actually.
yes. We never ended up performing it because I was never satisfied as a director with our product. So, no, just had dinner. Yep, just dinner.
Fun.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
And you
loved
went
it.
to college.
I did go to college, not for theater. I went to Valencia for 2 years, and that's where I got my degree in sign language interpretation. And then I transferred to the University of North Florida and wanted to go into law school. So I started out as like a pre-law degree, and then in like 2 weeks changed my mind and switched over to psychology. Yeah, and I was industrial and organizational psychology. It makes me sound smarter than I am. It's really just HR. With other things, it's a combination of a lot of things, but HR is kind of the main focus. And then I did not like the location in Jacksonville, loved the degree, and so I transferred down to the University of South Florida in Tampa and finished it up there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
And USF has an open theater program as of right now, so I was able to like participate in acting classes and in their musicals and different shows and all that stuff, and didn't have to be a major.
Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
kind of got to do both, which was great.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah.
That's
super
actually
great.
really valuable
Yeah.
for the theater and for clearly you.
Yeah, it's been super helpful. I love the degree as it is. I think maybe one day I would go into HR. Like if theater ever stopped being what I really wanted to do, then HR is definitely the direction I would go. So I'm really glad that I've like found that and know that that's what I would want to do if I didn't do theater.
Yeah.
But it's also really helpful just for theater.
Yes.
Knowing how people really operate when they have a disorder, and that way we're not playing stereotypes, but we're playing the real thing.
Yeah.
It's really, really helpful.
Do you have any embarrassing college moments?
I feel like I do. I was not really a partier in college, but I loved going to parties and being the only sober one. That was really entertaining for me. So I have a lot of really embarrassing stories about my friends in college that I love telling. I don't think I really have like any truly embarrassing ones. I do remember I've always been like a really awkward person, and because my mom is always so big in Orlando, people stop me and they know me because of my mom. And so I was at school at UNF, and it was my first day there, and I just dropped all my stuff off at the dorm, and I was like going onto campus just to kind of walk around. First day, I was so excited. And I walk by this guy that stops me and goes, "Oh my gosh, Tess Carr." I was like, oh no, I've met this person. Oh no, I don't remember his name. I felt terrible. I was like freaking out. I like later revealed that he was the president of a club that I had been emailing, and he had like stalked me online, which is how he knew who I was.
Oh my god.
And he turned out to be really sweet. He lives in Orlando
Thank
now.
God.
He's
Okay.
a really, really great guy, but it was so embarrassing. I was like, first day of college, I'm meeting someone that I clearly know that I have no idea who you are.
Did you have any, I'm guessing you did, any guest service jobs outside of performing?
Not really. Yeah, surprising. So my mom started a homeschool co-op when I was in high school that then kind of turned into a theater program for families in general. It was called Voices of Joy. It's actually still running. She handed off to another woman when she moved away. But that was kind of my job outside of school until I started working at Universal. I ran a bunch of the classes and I taught there. So I didn't really have any specific really guest service jobs.
Yeah. And you've always lived in Florida?
No.
No.
No!
What?
I lived in Florida until I was 15, and then we moved to Bozeman, Montana. Indeed. And I lived in Bozeman, Montana for a year and a half. Yeah, about a year and a half before we moved back to Orlando for my sister, who is she was a competitive rock climber.
There is a bug.
There is. There's a bug!
Sorry.
In my face! It's alright. So I lived there for like a year and a half, and then we moved back because I was going to go to college and we wanted in-state tuition, and my sister was working, she was competing in rock climbing, and the best, one of the best coaches around lived in Orlando, Florida, so we moved back. But
So the best coaching for rock climbing lives in the flattest state.
indeed,
Okay.
because it's indoor.
Oh, indoor. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
so we have a really great indoor gym here called Acme. It's great, and the coach there is really wonderful, and she wanted to move back and train with him, and it's a good thing we did because she ended up marrying one of the kids on the rock climbing team with her. I know, it's super cute. But my brother and my sister and my dad all live out in Bozeman, Montana now. My dad moved out there about a year ago, and my mom just left today to join them.
Aww. Going to the theme parks.
Yes.
What was your audition experience like?
That one was really interesting. I had just moved to Tampa. Well, okay, I should back up by saying I started auditioning for theme parks when I was about 18. And I realized very quickly, I don't know if this is just my perception, but I'm not really a Disney type. There's just not a lot of roles specifically for me at Disney. It's a great entertainment park, and I will keep auditioning there until I no longer live in Orlando. But I just realized very quickly I was super young. It was just not the right timing for me.
Right.
And I had auditioned at Universal, and I got called back for the same role a bunch of times, a very young role with lots of fire. So I hadn't booked it. I was being called back for other seasonal things and just was not booking anything, and I kind of just put my hands in the air. I was like, not the time. I'm going to college, out of here. And I moved to Tampa, and when the day after I moved there, I had an audition scheduled for a singing show at Universal, and I was like, oh, yeah, it's fine, I'll go. And I had in my mind what I wanted to sing, and it was the day after I had moved, and so I had gotten all ready, and I was ready to go. I had like 15 minutes until I needed to walk out the door, and I open up my book of sheet music, and it's not there, my song that I wanted. And I was freaking out, and I was like, it could be in any one of these boxes, it could be in the car, like no idea where this sheet music is. So I was like, screw it. And I found a song that I really liked, but didn't really fit the show at all, and I was like, whatever. And so I'm driving up to Orlando from Tampa for my audition. And I've been practicing this song, like playing my first note and humming it in the car. And it's like, okay, I've got this, it'll be fine. And I walk in the door and I'm standing in line. There's like 2 people in front of me to go into the room. And one of the facilitators comes out and says, make sure that your song is 16 bars. We will cut you off if it's anything longer than that. We're kind of running behind. And I'm like, oh no, I never checked. And I like open my book and count, and sure enough, it was a 32 bar cut. And I was like, I have maybe 2 minutes to fix this. And I couldn't decide, and I was like, the second half is the better half of this. I should do the second half of it. And so I remarked my sheet music and then realized that the first note for the second half is not the first note of the first half that I'd been practicing in the car. And I kind of just walked into the room and went, well, whatever. And I set my sheet music down and I was like, this is whatever it's gonna be. Sang my song, and then the show director was like, wow, Tess, really great. Can you come back tomorrow for a callback? And I literally said, what? Because it was so bad. It was one of those, like, I was like, I can't make this good at this point. And yeah, I booked it. After that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. What?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it turns out they needed some like really low voices, I guess, at the time. And the song that I had chosen was like super bassy, really low, not really what I typically sing. And it was,
Wow.
I guess, what they needed.
Okay, now we've graduated to the Twitter question.
Okay.
So, these are dire to your career. You have to answer these correctly.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Which body part do you wish you could detach?
Yeah, my nose.
Your nose.
I don't know. My nose.
Okay.
Is that where your almond allergy sits? Because if so,
Yeah,
that'd
like,
be great. Yeah.
Just take it away. I don't know, my nose. Maybe my forehead. My forehead. I would detach my forehead.
You
I would. Okay. Great.
weirdest place you've gone to the bathroom?
In the woods?
You've gone to the bathroom in the woods?
Yeah, like when we first moved out to Montana and like driving cross country, sometimes you're like 8 hours in the middle of nowhere. Like,
Yeah.
there's not a bathroom to be seen. I've knocked on a stranger's door before. Yep. Because there's only like residential homes for 10 hours of driving.
Oh my
and you're like,
gosh.
well, and you knock on doors and they were super nice. They were like, oh yeah, totally. Like, pretty sure I'm not the first person.
Yeah. What is the absolute worst thing you would name your child?
This is a true story. When I was really little, I had like 2 normal names for girls, and then I wanted a boy named Math Whiz. Like, dead set.
Math
Wanted
Whiz.
a boy named Math Whiz. I like on my school presentation,
Oh my gosh.
everything. Math Whiz.
Wow.
There you go. So, worst possible name I could give my child.
If peanut butter had a different name, what would it be?
Peanut butter? Gosh, I don't know. Like, I want to say Nutter Butter, but like that's an actual peanut butter
That is-
dessert.
Yeah.
Nutty spread? Nutty.
Is your allergy to all nuts?
No, nope, just almonds.
Oh, okay, good.
I
So you
love
can be-
peanut butter. I do.
So what would you call an almond butter?
Death trap.
What is the weirdest thing you've ever seen in somebody else's home? A 5-pound bag of gummy bears?
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
pretty.
I know.
That is pretty
There are
odd.
5 pounds left.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
not 5 pounds.
I ate
4.5.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like I've seen, like I've walked into friends' apartments when they weren't expecting me and there were like unmentionables out, you know? And I was like, oh, interesting. That's your one of choice.
If you were a video game, what would it be called?
Crazy Mind? No.
So many different levels.
Crazy, so many different levels. I'm like an onion.
And the last and final question. If you could be any theme park attraction, what would you be and why?
I feel like I would be. Can I name a specific attraction?
Yeah,
I
it's
would
Disney
be-
or Universal.
I feel like I would be like Rip Ride Rocket because there's always a million songs going on in my head. Like, I can never just set on one. And I never have the lyrics right. My dad likes to remind me of that all the time. Did you know that song, like, it's a country song, like something about being a better man? I grew up thinking it was Better Man. Like, the lyrics
butter.
were, yeah.
Butter
Like,
man.
I was gonna be a better man. But I feel like I would be that one, because, like, I have my ups and downs, and, like, I'm kind of crazy, and there's a million songs happening
Yeah.
at once.
Okay, cool. So, that's it. That's the end.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was easier than I thought.
Yeah, people get real scared coming on here.
Well, I think it's, like, it's a little bit scary to talk about yourself. Oh, no, what am I gonna say?
Yeah.
But I feel like all of us have practiced it at some point for, like,
Right.
that day when we
We're on
maybe,
Conan.
yes,
Yeah.
or we'd, like, win a Tony Award and they interview us afterwards and
Yeah,
you're
oh,
still, like,
yeah.
so juiced up from it and
Right.
like all the adrenaline running that you don't want to say something stupid, so you've, like, prepped in your mind, like, if they were gonna ask me a specific question. I do that all the time with myself. I ask myself really weird questions and then, like, try to answer them.
So what is the weirdest question that you've asked yourself, and what was your answer?
I don't even know. I do this while I'm driving because I get bored.
Actually, it's not
focus on
weird
that.
because I do that too.
I talk to myself in the car.
Yeah.
And I, like, imagine.
Imagine myself on a talk show and me having to answer questions
Yes.
about myself the way that I do to other people.
Right. Because you're like, I want to be fully prepped. Like, if they ask me about, I don't know, like, weird pictures on the Instagram, I don't feel like I have any weird pictures.
So, do you have any public social media?
I do. I have an Instagram. It's Tesseracts, TESSERACTS 93. That's my Instagram. I think it's the same for my Twitter. I don't really post on Twitter, like maybe once every 3 months. So you might hear some brilliant things once every 3 months. If you follow me, that's my same Twitter name. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think those are the only two I have.
Well, so Twitter and Instagram. Yeah, so go check her out and you know where to find me. Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Musical.ly. Twitter? Is that the one that I missed?
I think so.
Snapchat, Musical.ly, Twitter. Yes.
Facebook. Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Musical.ly. Yeah.
There we go.
Awesome. And hit the like if you liked, hit the like if you didn't like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment what you would like to see next time, and we will see you later.